think there are plenty of opportunities for the use of DLT. What we have to do though is really recognise that the best use cases are where you have multi-party workflow and where we need to have access to the same view of a single piece of data. A lot of it really depends on the pain point. We have to make sure we apply the right technology to the right use case, and DLT is not always the one that we would apply. As I said, it's really good if you're trying to look at either internal or external cases that you wish to look at, where you may have multiple locations or multiple branches as well as multiple clients interacting together in that end-to-end workflow, where each needs access to real-time information where consensus and status is important. We've looked first at beneficial ownership transparency. So one of the real pain points in the industry today is elements of manual processing or elements of where we have to traverse a chain of intermediaries to gain access to information on who a beneficiary is within the system, within the value chain. So what we've done is created a platform where clients can create a record for a beneficiary which we do not see. However, we can then track positions at that beneficiary level so that when we have, say, a shareholder request, as we may get under the Shareholder Rights Directive, we can automatically respond to that without having to traverse the value chain and therefore create efficiency. Similarly, there are many processes that are manual today, like tax processing, where again, tax documentation and what level of withholding tax may need to be paid is based on the beneficiary and how they are documented in the market. By having that understanding of beneficiary, we can actually then digitalize the workflow of tax documentation to be inherently linked and therefore really streamline the process of payment, because we're not having to gather that information every time we need to distribute, say, on a securities dividend. Ideally all clients, and I think what we need to do is address that workflow pain point. And one of the really interesting things is when you start looking at some of these use cases, you suddenly start to find more and more potential for that. So whereas beneficial ownership transparency is very, very important for buy-side clients, if we take that same concept and think, can we take desk level transparency from a trading broker and use that same concept to break down that information, we can then start to use that more effectively when it comes to allocating liquidity costs and liquidity needs back to trading desks. So ultimately I think it will be all clients, and I think in the shorter term those benefits will be around creating efficiency and really looking at that end-to-end workflow, and obviously what comes off the back of that is reduced cost of processing within the landscape.